This conference will now be recorded. This conference is no longer being recorded.
And Ms. Worth, Ms. Schlotteroff did just say she's almost here. I don't know if she was
Okay,
taking
yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the HCEDC Type B meeting for the City of Hazlet, Wednesday, August 19, 2026. And the time of opening the meeting is 6:32. We do have a quorum present. Mr. John Barnett isn't here at this moment, but he should be joining us momentarily. Item number 2, citizens' participation and comments. Do we have anyone in the chamber or anyone online for any comments?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Item number 3, items of community interest. 3.1, the city is accepting applications for boards and commissions. To apply, please submit an application through the city's website. Item 3.2, all city offices will be closed Monday, September 7, 2026, in observance of Labor Day. 3.3, National Night Out will be held Tuesday, October 6, 2026, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the community park. Visit the city website for more information. Item 3.4, movie in the park featuring GOAT. It will take place on Friday, October 9th, 2026 at Nance Field. The movie will begin at dark. Visit the city's website for more information. The city will be hosting a brush and limb drop-off on Saturday, November 7th, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at 791 Schoolhouse Road, where the Public Works Building resides. Item number 4, consent agenda. Discuss, consider, and act regarding July 2026 financial report is before us. Does anyone have any questions on the financial report?
Do we have a month? The monthly?
This is July.
Is there a second page? Usually there's a page where it shows our income. There we go.
There.
That's what I was looking for. Do we have a credit? I'll be honest, I didn't look at these before the meeting. Did everyone else? Did everyone else look at the financials?
Anyone have any question? Okay, then may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the financial report as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, economic development reports. Mr. Swanky, could you help us with that?
Yes, ma'am. Chairman and members of the board, I just want to run through a few slides, and I want to talk about a few other things. And I just had my screen minimized. Eric. But in July, there were 122 active permits, and there's 18 new ones that are under review at this time. And then out on the freeway, Freeman Toyota, if you go out there on a daily basis, it's changing. There are a lot of things done out there, and they've gone vertical, and hopefully in a few months it is on. I'll just get a little closer. How's that sound? We'll fix that. And then this is Cross City North Church. And it's another thing that's changing on a daily basis, and that building should be coming to fruition and completion in the next few months. And this is out at 405 Westport, where the CDDI building is at, and they've got all their landscaping in on the front with the tank, so you won't be seeing that exhibit anymore. But on the east side of the building, they're working on their generator, and they've got one of them installed, and they've got another one that they're just about finished with. And this is an entry into 850 Transport, and they're putting in a new driveway and guard shack at this location. Currently, the guard shack is on the east side of the building. They'll be removing that. Some security lights that they're going to be placing down the west side of this property also with the development of this tract. And this is something that came up last night, was Monday night, was the intersection over at Harmon Road and Blue Mound Road, and the configuration. And everything you see there in color is going to be constructed by the Ironwood company. The green will be in concrete, and then the pink areas will be transitional back to the existing properties. And there it came up a comment, why aren't they doing anything to this point south? Well, they don't own that property. We've got a fireworks stand and sales and a couple other buildings there, so they really don't own that until they get back down to the corner near Keller Hicks Road. And then also on Monday night, the site plan, landscape plans were approved for that site, and they gave the owner some options as far as the landscaping. There was a comment about the bold cypress trees, but they're located on the east where they're not going to be above cars or along the right-of-ways. So they may choose to make those a different tree and also move some trees around to some other locations on the site. And they're coming up next Tuesday night. There will be 2 zoning cases in the AF district north of Westport Parkway.
Oh, you can try, okay, go back up. We can't see. Okay. Well, you finished that one. Then what's next? Number 3?
Yeah, number 3 is, number 2 is the Encompass.
Got it.
And they're out there doing dirt work now. When I put the slideshow together and the comments, they were not at that point of actually doing the dirt work, but they are now along Hazlitt Parkway. Also, the P&Z is looking at a proposed ordinance concerning lighting standards for the city, and when they are applicable and where they're. 3 is old news.
Oh, okay,
Only the things in blue are the new things.
okay.
Yeah, some members of the council asked me to leave the black things so they could look backwards, and just the blue things are the new items.
And the only thing it's not really an update, the P&Z will consider, it's on their agenda for next week to consider recommending a planner, as was discussed a couple meetings ago. So we're not to the, there, that hasn't happened yet, but that will be on the P&Z agenda for next week, is to recommend a group to come in and they'll make that recommendation then to the council. So it's not the recommendation yet, it's just the recommendation regarding a group to come in and review the land use plan.
Right. Okay, is that going to be a workshop?
That item is not listed as a workshop, no, no ma'am.
Okay.
We will have a workshop item on the P&Z meeting that has to do with data centers, where they need to be and what kind of standards they should have.
Okay.
If one is to happen in Hazlet. At this point, there's not been a rumor of one, and there's nobody in the works for one. But just in case they ever do, we want to make sure we have the appropriate standards in place.
Okay.
And this is the two cases that the Planning and Zoning Commission are going to be looking at. It's a request from AF, Airport Facilities, to industrial. You can do industrial uses in the AF, but this just gives them a little bit more flexibility on some of the uses. It just expands the use table for them.
I have a question about that second piece that's to the east of intermodal.
Yes.
Can you trace the outline of that? Is it,
It's basically right down here, and that sort of loops
Okay.
around a little bit and then comes back up.
okay,
And both these properties are owned by Hillwood, and they also own most of the property around this area also that's zoned AF.
What is zoning? Or it's AF, so that's airport facilities?
Yes.
And it's being requested to go to industrial?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes,
And let's see, Hillwood's asking for that?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. And the master land use plan for this area shows both the AF and the industrial as industrial. So it's consistent. Okay, the last thing is the landmark property at the Blue Mound Road and Harmon Road, and just west of the Ironwood property, and the intersection we were just looking at right over here. They're talking about coming in and annexing and probably doing a pre-annexation agreement there for some industrial type uses. Nothing's been submitted on it yet. It's just conversations that are going on that I've personally had with people. And that pretty much wraps up the report. And as you look at these reports, this last item here is items in blue are new for this report. And so now the ones that are in blue now, they'll be turned into black, and then the new comments will be turned into blue. And that way you can look back historically on them. It's the way we used to do things before I started putting in the photographs of what was going on, and the members of the council asked for that to come back.
I have a question about Landmark. Is Landmark under Hillwood?
No.
Is Landmark the water tower company?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, could you back up to that? Where it was mentioned? Okay. So that's the proposed, is in the blue-gray?
It's in this rectangle right here, except for that little corner clip. That little corner clip is where the city of Hazlet has a water tank on that location. And the rest of it, there's a existing building right here that's up on the hill. And from this point to this point, it's about a 50-foot drop in elevation. Plus, there is some floodplain that traverses this northwest corner of the property.
So can you provide a little bit more in detail on that? What's actually happening and what's under review and so forth?
Nothing's been formally submitted at this point.
Okay. So we don't know anything?
No. This property's been up for sale for quite a while.
Uh-huh. I was thinking the Landmark company was up for sale, but I don't
it
recall.
is.
Okay.
That whole chunk is up for sale, and it's I think it's right around 30 acres, and they're wanting to get out of that site. And there's been a lot of interest of different groups, but there's a group that's been contacting me that seems to be really serious, and that's why I put it on the report, just to keep everybody in the know. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Swanky?
Madam President, just would like to, we're going to have other opportunities over the next few days as well, but would like to take this opportunity publicly to thank Morris for all of his hard work. This is his last EDC meeting. He's going to be around for one more planning and zoning next week, but in my now 6 months here, Monday was my 6-month mark. Morris has been a real asset and just a great guy to have around. So we're going to miss you and appreciate everything that you've given the city of Hazlet.
Yeah, I figured I needed to be here for the P&Z meeting since I got 4 advertised public hearings for that night. And I didn't want to bail and let Mr. Rodriguez over here, my replacement, take that on his first meeting out of the box, so.
Thank you, Mr. Schwanke.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Swanky. We wish you a very happy retirement. Thank you. Thank you. And then your replacement's name again is, excuse me, what did you say?
Ben
Ben?
Rodriguez.
Ben Rodriguez. Welcome to the group, Ben. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you. Okay, item number 6, our 2 properties at 102 Westport Parkway and 181 Schoolhouse Road. We'll take those into executive session, take that conversation into executive session. Moving along to item number 7, updates on active items, projects, and event recap. These are not action items, they're just discussion points. And our first one is our business directory accessibility update. And hi, I'd like to announce that John Barnett has joined the meeting, so we have a full quorum present, the full board's present. Hi, John. Okay, so business directory accessibility update. One of the questions that I had of Mr. Ashton to find out who on staff can help us update our website. If you could you pull up our Hazlet website? Okay, let's see. Can you put in, I think there's a front-facing page. Yeah, click on the logo. Yes. There we go. Okay, this is the front-facing page that you would see coming in on the Hazlet website. And we have 4 categories at the top: government departments, residents, and development. And so to an outsider, you wouldn't even begin to know where to look for the business directory from this setup. So it is under development, so if you will click on that, please. There, you still don't see it listed out. So you almost have to know exactly where it's at. You click on development. Oh, there it is. Okay, but it's actually buried under economic development. So you don't really have a clear path of how to get to it. And I think that's one of the things that we'd like to see corrected. And I have some suggestions and some things to talk about, but we just want to make sure that people from the outside coming into our website understand how to get to our business directory. And you have to go through a few steps. It's not intuitive to do so. So what I'd like you to do is, you will pull up Justin's website. On their website, they clearly have a tab that says business. And so when you click on that, then you can go right to the business directory. It's like 2 clicks. And then it brings you right into a directory that looks very similar to what ours does once we drill down. And then, and there it is as well. So you can kind of see how to maneuver to get to it. Could you pull up Saginaw's website? Here as well, they have multiple tabs at the top, and they have business. And then you can actually get to the business directory easily from there as well. And then they also even have their economic development as a separate tab. So that's something that we might want to discuss and think about, trying to have a clearer path of how do we get to our business directory, and then also what might our front page look like coming into the business directory. So when you look at some of these 2 websites, you'll see they have under business a multitude of other things that we might want to consider improving our complete website with. I know that's not on our agenda tonight, but that's going to be something we talk about toward the end on future agenda items.
I will say that it is important to keep the pages consistent. So there's some flexibility in what we can do, but they do need to remain consistent.
Okay, when you say consistent, what does that mean, Crystal?
If you go any other page, like the way it's set up, they need to flow the same way.
Right, but could we have another large tab here that says business?
We'll have to look into that.
Okay, because that's something that I think might help. Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, did we not just go through a recent overhaul? And that
Yes,
was
it went live in July.
right.
And that's a great improvement. Matter of fact, it really gives our website a much cleaner, more updated view, and it really looks good.
Can you just do me a quick favor and just type in the search bar, like business directory? Does it pull up automatically? Okay, so it is something like,
And that's good to have a search bar, yes.
But even then, it's the 3rd one down on the SEO. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And what we might want to do is, like I say, move it out to a different category and not have it listed in under some of these other items.
Maybe just do a standalone.
Kind of a standalone tab. I think it might look clearer, but like when you see the other websites and you really kind of study how they set theirs up, we could copy best practices if we choose to do so. So I just wanted to call that out. On the, kind of skipping down to 7.3, since we're talking about the websites, the grant process material update. I know, I believe, Michael, you were working on that, weren't you?
Michael, would you like to go to the podium and
Yeah,
give us an
tell us
update?
kind of where you're at with it.
Yeah, so Laura and I have been working together on this. I think I've come up with one iteration to update the, I guess, a mock-up of how the website would be updated, and it would fall under, that mock-up shows it falling under economic development, departments, economic development, and then further being under the, as one of the, I guess, one of the bars on the left-hand side as business improvement grant. So that's where it would basically be located. I reached out to Crystal, just waiting on feedback on who to work with and what the rules of engagement are to update the website. And then, what's that? Say it one more time. Okay, excellent. So I'll work with you, Crystal. I also got some good feedback from Laura. I think we want to stay away from PDFs. We want to create a form that directly integrates into the website. I think that just makes it easier for people to read, and I think it also follows one of the codes that or laws that you mentioned to me, Laura, as well. And then we'd also like the actual description of the application to be integrated in the website as well. So I think I'm going to update one more iteration. I'm going to send it to you based on your feedback, Laura. I'm about a week late on it right now, but I'll get it over to you. And then I think the plan is just send it over to you, Crystal, and then work to get it updated. So if anyone's interested in seeing what the mock-up looks like right now, I'm happy to send it to the group so you get a feel for what we got cooked up so far.
That would be great, thank you. Could you pull up the Saginaw website? They also have their grant process under, I think, their economic development tab, similar to what you said. Let's see, would be under economic programs, right there. And then there is how they laid theirs out, and if you cursor down the sheet, it kind of describes what the grant is all about. It's got a clickable front page. If you click on that, that comes up real big, and then you can see how it's laid out, similar to what we're offering on our grant. And then if you go on down, I think it has a fill-in form, I believe. Yeah, or questions, maybe facts and questions. So, something like that would be great.
Do me a favor too. Can you go to Roanoke? Roanoke, they did the same thing, Kitty. They've got it under departments, economic development, and then there's an incentive cookie crumb. I'm getting to learn all these fun terms. Thanks, Laura. Go up. Yep. Just hit economic development. Just go take the full path, and you can see on the left-hand side there.
The grant.
There should be grants and incentives, and similar to our setup, they've got two different types. So ours is more of a facade grant, and this would be what it looked like. But instead of they have a link to forums down there, but so instead of forums, we'd want PDF form. We'd want that to be a website-based.
One that you can actually fill in right on the website.
So that'd be, I think that'll take a little bit more development, but definitely easier to fill out, and links it directly to where the backend database is for the website.
So what are you looking at as far as, I saw that Saginaw had $10,000, Roanoke, obviously a larger city, is $15,000. In a perfect world, understanding we're going through a budgeting cycle, what do you imagine Hazlitt? Is it $5,000? Is it $1,000?
So we've already, we're in alignment with your standard facade program at $10,000.
10,000?
50% match.
Okay.
So then that's laid out in the rules of engagement of the procedure.
Right, and I think we updated our budget to 50,000 so that
To
we
be
could
able to
have
match
at
that.
least five.
Yeah, fully funded for five.
For five
We
grants
also
throughout the
updated
year.
document, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Kitty.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, we are also updated the document, not only to emphasize, I think it was Old Town and FM 156 corridor, also Schoolhouse Road. I think also we'll be working with your replacement, maybe to get a map drawn up as well. That was another really good recommendation by Laura. That way a person can confirm, yes, I'm in the Hazlet city limits, and also confirm that my business is located in that emphasized zone that I just mentioned.
I will say, we have 2 more full days to work Morris and ask him to get us the map himself, so if we wanted to do that, but.
And when I'm gone, we have a person who is a pro at mapping in our firm, so.
Do we
can
have
handle
any,
it.
Yeah, I think one question that Laura had, and I thought was good as well, was there's a map with an interactive GIS link? And would that work? And instead of doing a static map, could we do an interactive map and maybe just add one more KMZ that encircles those emphasized areas?
That can be done. It'll take a little bit of work, but I think what the goal would be is to turn it into a bona fide GIS map using the Esri software,
Yes.
but we have that capability.
Okay, excellent.
Hey, Mike, in your research, did you find any historical, like over the last 5 years, how many businesses have applied for this successfully to be able to leverage it as like a model, like an advocate to let other business owners know that this is available? Do we have any in the last couple of years?
I don't think that we had this program. Is this new?
Okay, so this
I
is
think
a brand
new
new.
to us, but some of the best, just on my research, looking at some of the best practices some of the other cities have done.
Right.
Is that they'll actually, once they start, they'll start doing some applications.
Right.
Start highlighting those businesses.
Right.
So it's kind of a way of creating a KPI.
Yeah.
Of how much of where that benefit has gone, and who's the business, and pictures of the before and after. And it's a great way of advertising what a successful facade upgrade looks like.
Yeah, and I think Saginaw does that really well. They keep a running tab, and then they, like you said, Michael, they give the before pictures and the after pictures, and that helps possibly spur others on to coming to the city and asking to do some upgrades as well. So it's a good way to advertise your good business.
Kitty
practice.
or Laura, you were here before me. He is asking about the program. When I was here, I was told that the mayor had taken the grant application off the website. So I don't know what about it before.
Yeah, it was taken down, I want to say the beginning of 2025, like January of 2025, but it wasn't very active prior to that either. And I think probably going back, I'm going to have to say 3 or 4 years since we actually had the grant be given to anyone in the city. And I believe in the building where you are, Joe, when that building was built, the owners of that building, I remember, asked for a grant to put the sign out in front of your building with all the various businesses, because you've got multiple businesses in your building. Yes, and so I think that's the last one I recall, but that was 4 or 5 years ago. So, to your question.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Good work. Thank you for helping
I'll
with
get it out,
this.
and
Thank you, Mike.
for mentoring through this.
Yes, and we'll continue to work through this until we get it done. Now, moving back to 7.2, the Texas Economic Development Council membership update. Crystal, could you help us with that? Because I think we talked and you said that you would probably try to set up all of our board members on this website.
Yes, and that has been done. Each of you should have received an email from the TEC late last week. What may have been a welcome email or register email, but every one of y'all have been registered. The city is paying y'all's membership fees. When you do want to register for classes, they have assured me that they can take an invoice, so that way y'all can give it to me and I can pay it from the city, so that way there's not having to do reimbursements or anything like that. So. What's it stands for, or? It's a economic. It's an economic development council that the board had asked to be members of. I think they used to be members years ago because it was actually still in our system, surprisingly. But they do a lot of economic development trainings and classes, so it's a really good place to get your foot in the door and kind of learn more about what you're doing, and then also attend conferences and start working towards getting people interested in Haslett.
So it's something that benefit we're doing.
Yes, sir.
So Crystal, I think I saw one, I did see the email. Let's say, I think the next one is in October. It's in San Antonio or Austin. Walk us through that process. I mean, do we get lodging paid for? Do we get a stipend? Is that all on us? How does that process work?
So the city would pay for it, it'd come out of y'all's budget. So I
Right.
would remind y'all to be mindful of what you have budgeted for this. And maybe select a couple, because we also, when you go to conferences and you have all of y'all attend,
Right.
it's a quorum. So just kind of make sure that we're talking about who's going to be attending. But yes, the city would take care of your lodging. There is, we do GSA rates, so you would get a per diem allowance and then mileage as well too. So the city would, out of the EDC budget, but yes.
Do you recommend going with a quorum or under a quorum?
Well, I think what we talked about before, if I remember correctly, and anyone jump in here, I thought we actually talked about having economic business ambassadors, and we talked about having the 3 ambassadors go to this particular event and then come back and share with us what they've learned. And I thought that we talked about for the very first one, going and just observing what goes on, not going with any setup representing the city in mind, but just going as a learning event, see how these conferences take place and who all comes to them and how it can benefit the city, then bring that back to the full board and discuss how that benefits us or how we can work with, hopefully, our future economic development director who will be hired sometime, just got approved through the budget process. So that person will be our primary leader on these kinds of events, and we hope that that person is hired late year or early next year, just depending on the job search and interview process time that would take.
Yes, and President Wertz, the only addition I would make, thank you for the question, Director Barnett. If you are at any point looking at any of these and any trainings pop up at you, please don't hesitate to not only reach out to Crystal and I, but also include President Wertz as well. It doesn't start to become a quorum on an email until there's 4, because that's the quorum for this board. So there's no quorum issues if you make sure President Wertz is included in those questions as well. So as we go forward, if there's any trainings that jump out at you, then just let's keep the 3 of us in a loop, and we'll all work through it.
So I'll read you the description. The TEDC hosts 3 conferences per year, a legislative winter conference in February, a mid-year conference in June, and the annual conference in October. Conference locations are all areas of the state each year in order to reach our members' geographic regions. TEDC conferences are a great resource for learning from economic development experts on issues and trends, as well as from your peers, and we strive to include quality speakers and valuable content. Each conference also has several networking opportunities. And as John said, the next one is October 7th through 9th in Houston, and that's the annual conference.
And I also believe that this particular website has online training events from time to time that you can take for free. So you might want to touch base and look at this website and see what opportunities you might be interested in taking online.
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, everyone here works, and 7th through 9th is a Wednesday, or Tuesday through Thursday. That's really difficult. I would like to go, but I just know, being realistic on that behalf, online might be the best option.
Right,
But networking is always the best way to get your name out there, hand to hand. And so,
yes. Okay, all right, so I have quite a number of future agenda items that we'll talk about toward the end of the meeting that circle back around to updating the website and how we might advertise ourselves better on the website. So with that, any other comments on item number 7 on any of the categories we discussed? No? Okay, then we have no action items. We'll go ahead and move into executive session at 7:10. So we'll close the open meeting and move into executive session for training. Do I need to read these items?
Just the sections, is that?
I should. Okay, let me read these items. Executive session, the Hazlet Community and Economic Development Corporation reserves the right to adjourn into executive session during the meeting to seek legal advice from the attorney regarding any item on the posted agenda as authorized by Section 551071 of the Texas Government Code. Additionally, pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, the HCEDC may adjourn into executive session in accordance with the authority contained in 9.1 Section 551.071 Government Code, consultation with attorney pending or contemplated litigation settlement offer, or to seek advice from the city attorney, training for the board members. Item number 9.2, Section 551072 Government Code deliberation regarding real property purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if deliberation is an open meeting would have detrimental effect on the position of the government body in negotiations with third person, sale of HCEDC property. We'll adjourn into executive session at 7:11.
This conference is no longer being recorded. This conference will now be recorded. This conference is no longer being recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. I'll open the open session at 8:36. And item number 10, consider an act on any items out of the executive session. We have none. Item number 11, future agenda items. And I have a few, and then we'll see if anyone else have any. I'd like to put on for discuss, consider, and act, update the HCEDC duties on our Hazlet website. Item number 2, discuss posting our demographic data on the Hazlet website. Number 3, link the Chamber of Commerce on our website. Number 4, grant process promotional page and detailed actions. Item number 5, potentially an economic development page or a business page to discuss adding that to the website. And that is all I have. Does anyone else have any other future agenda items?
Can you just walk me through what you're thinking as far as the demographic being posted there? Is it more so to show the potential growth, future growth of it? I mean, what's the breakout there?
Well, if you actually look at, take a look at Justin's webpage and Saginaw's webpage. Those were kind of the two that I was looking at as models. And Saginaw, for sure, has their demographics. And under their economic development tab, they are promoting their city heavily to businesses. And in that area, they have their demographics posted so that people who are interested in coming and setting up a business understand what our stats are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more or less what I'm talking about. Now, some of this, I mean, even if we discuss it in our next future meeting, some of it we might not want to act on. We might want to wait till our economic development director comes on site.
Okay.
But then again, maybe we will. It's just something for the board to consider.
Okay. Yeah,
Is that
makes-
good?
Makes sense.
Okay.
And I was thinking you also wanted to add the business directory, I think, before. Is that one of these? I was thinking you said you wanted to add that.
It's already there.
Okay.
I think it's just
Well,
more
I meant
of how we
critiquing.
get to it.
I meant critiquing.
Yeah, critiquing, how do we get to it? Do we have an economic tab or do we have a business tab? And then maybe we want to create, and that is a good catch, Kathy. Maybe we want to create some kind of opening page to it to incentive or to promote it. That's the word I'm struggling for. Maybe we want to promote it so that it's understood that any business can go out there and look, and if you want to add a business when you're in the city limits of Hazlet, that you're welcome to do so.
I mean, I'll just be realistic on there. I think it's more of an educational purpose. I mean, understanding, Crystal, that we just did an overhaul, and that overhauling a website is not cheap. I just recently did that at my position. It's not as easy as just adding a tab in there, especially with us. I would assume we're doing a third-party contract for that. It's not someone internal.
We do manage it internally.
But as far as developing it, creating the back pages, the
Correct, that
informational,
was all done third party, yes.
do we have an idea of how much that costs? Is that, just so we know?
I I didn't handle the invoicing part of it, so I
Okay.
don't know how
'Cause
much
I know
it
it's not
costs. So
cheap,
I
and
do know,
so-
and that's why I wanted to check on the, because the buttons, there's,
I think it's a great
Yes.
idea. I just don't want to say, well, $50,000 just to add a, a one tab or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
wouldn't either. That'd be part of a broader discussion, because I wasn't even aware, it wasn't something we could not handle internally.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have another question. You mentioned future item duties on the website. Is that, were you talking about like Article 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that what you're mentioning?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that, Kathy?
Yes, you said something about duties, posting duties on the website.Id I misunderstand? I may
Well,
have.
what I'm really referring to there is to better define what HCEDC's responsibilities are, what we cover. I think right now, if you look at our website, it really only talks about economic development. And we do so much more than economic development. We are responsible for quality of life issues within the city, quality of life projects. And that, I think, needs to be bolstered in our description to let the public be aware of our full responsibilities as a board. That's what I meant, Kathy.
Okay. I was looking in our booklet where it has Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, 4, and 5, and I was thinking that kind of describes what you're saying. I don't know.
Yes, our articles of incorporation, I'd like to include that definition.
Okay.
Good question. Anyone else have any questions?
I don't have a question, but for future agenda items, this may be best until we hire an economic development director, but I still think that it would be great if we could get on social media, like the Type B EDC, and just, even if it's not about bringing in new businesses, if we could feature online current businesses and give them some free promotion, I would really like to do that. And if we need to wait till we have like an employee in that position, I'm okay with that too, but I don't want to drop that. I think that would be beneficial for our businesses. And then the other one is just the community park funding.
I'm sorry.
The second one is the community park funding for future agenda items.
I mean, Leah, do you think we could delegate that currently? Because like Jasmine does a really good job on promoting that, and she gets a lot of engagements from that way. I know that there are quite a few different Facebook pages, but I mean, I would like to discuss that, whether it be, whatever city council takes a business. I know we've talked about that, but Jasmine's done a really good job promoting some of the businesses as of late, and people have been
Oh, yes.
engaging with it. I didn't know that was there, but I mean, I definitely think that's the way, more or less, as you can see in Empty Room here, people are engaging via social media
Right.
more and more nowadays.
And we can actually do that on the website too. I think Kathy had an idea as one of our future projects of small business Fridays or once a month delegate a small business Friday. But we could also do a spot promotion on a small business and highlight that for a month, even on our website. So there's all kinds of ways that I think we can help promote some businesses. We just need to think of what we want to do.
I have a question. John, did you ever get the word about the farmers markets for the small businesses we was talking about?
Did I ever get the word? I know that
Madam President, I am sorry, and I'm very sorry. I think we might be veering a little bit into discussion
Kind
as
of,
opposed
okay,
to just.
veering
so I'm-
off.
I'm
Future
sorry for
agenda
that.
item.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
we'll have to
No,
save.
it's an
yeah.
organic thing, but.
Yeah, we'll save that for a future agenda item.
Settle down over there, buddy.
Can you expand on the community park funding? What do you want to discuss?
Well, council said that we need to go back and redo that.
Yeah, but I don't think that can be a future agenda item just yet because it's still an ongoing process.
Okay, well, we don't need to regroup and talk about who's going to go talk to Parks Board, or?
Well, we still have our 3 committees.
We kind of need some direction from council.
Yeah.
Written
think it's-
direction.
Yeah, I think it's not yet defined, Leah, so I think it can't be a future agenda item until a little bit more comes about with where it is. It's still an open and ongoing issue.
But I mean, are we proactive and figure out a plan on how to make that go faster as opposed to being in the void and it dragging on for 3 months?
It's not going to drag.
Okay.
I wanted to prioritize our projects that we named and perhaps have some folks take lead or form committees on those projects. Just planning out the next year.
Has all of our budget been approved for the project? You're talking about the
She's
different
talking about our
projects.
future projects, all of
Okay.
our big future projects in our budget.
Have they all been approved already?
The budget was approved.
Okay.
It did get approved, but we really have to go through the 60-day waiting period, is that correct?
And
before
we will have the public hearing over the projects on the next one as well. So
Okay,
it
on the
can-
next
we
agenda
can-
item.
It'll be included on that one,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, any other items? All right, I call this meeting adjourned at 8:47.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
Right. Yeah, it's not.